Eagles fly. Let's beat the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the dark child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur gang, baby, let's get it on.
Hey, fam, it's your man Dante the Dark Knight. I'll be joined shortly by my co-host, but right now it's me, and we're ready for game day. The Eagles take on the Commanders today. Today, with the win, the Philadelphia Eagles can solidify their place. The division title. They can win the NFC East with a win tonight. It's in all probability we'll be going to the playoffs, but we will secure the NFC East with a win today, and not totally eliminating the Cowboys, but eliminating them from any chance of winning the division. That will happen today. So it's a big day for us. We need this win. We need to continue what we started last week against those lowly Raiders. It looked very, very promising on the offensive side of the ball, the side of the ball that we've been most concerned about this entire season. Look, it had pulse last week. It was dead before last week. During the 3-game losing streak, the offense was dead, no pulse. But it's been resurrected as of last week. Thank you, Raiders. Just the shot in the arm that we needed, and this offense showed a lot of life. And we need to see a continuation of that today as we take on the Commanders. Commanders 4-10. They're not really going anywhere. Not a very good team, but it'll be a better test, I believe, than what we saw against the Raiders. So we need to see continued improvement, or at the very least, the same type of game we had last week, where we were productive, where we dominated the clock, where we moved the ball and put points on the board. We need to see a continuation of that today, and hopefully we will see that. I am excited. 5 o'clock in about less than an hour, we'll see our Philadelphia Eagles take the field again. Always excited to see what Vic Fangio does with that defense. Defense since week 10 is ranked number 1 in a couple categories. One, the most important in my eyes for defense, and that's points per game. They're number 1 in points per game since week 10. So that's very encouraging. And I think that if the defense continues to play on that level, that we'll always have a chance. And as we go into the playoffs, we'll always be in games. We'll always be contending. And just as last year, we rode the backs of our defense and the legs of Saquon Barkley, we can possibly do the same with this defense, in my eyes, performing better than even last year's defense. And that was a number 1 defense overall. This defense is not ranked number 1 at the current moment. There's been ebbs and flows during the year with injuries and the such, but as of week 10, like I said, this team has been playing lights out on the defensive side of the ball. So we need to see that. We need to see our offense again stay creative. A lot of things I saw last week that were very encouraging. Play design, play calling flow, all of that everything was on point for me last week. And I know people are saying that it was only the Raiders. It was only the Raiders. But that's what you're supposed to do. Good teams are supposed to beat bad teams, and great teams are supposed to beat bad teams badly. And that's exactly what we did to the Raiders last week. We beat them badly, just as we should have done. And people who say that it was only the Raiders, just imagine had we come out of that game with a 13-10 win, how different this mood would be right now, how different people's attitudes would be. Even those who say it was only the Raiders. So I, again, take that as a big plus last week with us demolishing the Raiders. And we hope to do the same against the Commanders today. The Commanders have shut down their starting quarterback, Jaden Daniels, for the year. He shall not be playing anymore. So we'll see Marcus Mariota, old friend of ours who backed up Jalen during the Super Bowl season? I think it was the Super Bowl season that he backed Jalen up. So we'll see our old friend Marcus Mariota, and we'll face the wide receivers of McLaurin and Deebo Samuels, and they don't have much to play for. I don't think they're going to lay down because they're an NFL team and they're a division rival, but they don't have much to play for. So let's come out, take care of business, handle our business, and continue this road, because this is the time when you want to be playing your best football. So we don't need to see, nor do I want to see, any regression from last week. I want us to build upon that, what we saw last week, as we head into the playoffs. Don't take your foot off of the gas. Let's keep our foot pressed down on the gas as we fire on all cylinders towards the playoffs. Okay. We have Pat is about to come in. I'm going to bring him in now. Okay, he's ready.
Yo. All right. Yeah.
What's up? Game day, baby. We ready to get it on. Ready to get it on.
I'm ready to go.
Down in Washington, down in D.C. They showed BG. I was on checking out the pregame, and he looks like he's excited, and that's good because he had a great game last week. 2 sacks for the 37-year-old defensive tackle. Now that safe to say defensive tackle now?
Defensive tackle.
That's where he got his
defensive
sack
lineman.
from.
Let's say defensive
lineman. Okay, we'll say defensive lineman. That's fair. That's fair.
Did we do our shots yet?
No, we didn't do anything. I have to wait for you guys. So all right, the first person is here. So we'll do that. We'll start this off. So you're watching Eagles Talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around, that is by us Eagles fans and for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team, that is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. So, Pat, what are you doing?
Basil Hayden.
Doing Basil Hayden. Okay, we're doing the Basil Hayden. I got something to drink this time. I got my Celsius energy drink. I'm amped up. I've been caffeine all day. I've been out meetings since this morning, and I'm ready to go. I can't wait to see this game here today. But everybody out there, let's raise your glass. Let me know what you're drinking in the chat room, how you're preparing, and how you're pre-gaming, how you're getting ready to get your energy up so that we can support our Philadelphia Eagles in this big game today. Because like I said in the opening, we win today, we win the NFC East, and that feat has not been accomplished in a very long time. So that's an accomplishment in itself, that we'll be back-to-back champions of the NFC East, and I'll take it. I'll take it. So everybody raise your glasses. And to our Philadelphia Eagles, take it down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I guess I'm on the board. Okay.
You're now listening to the
All right, Pat. So I touched on the fact that this offense had a good showing last week, and we need to continue that, build upon that as we try to build up momentum going into the playoffs, because there's no doubt that we're going to make the playoffs, and this is the time where you want to be playing your best ball. So we showed that maybe our best game of the season was last week, and this is the type of football you want to be playing as we're 3 weeks removed from the playoffs.
Absolutely. You want to ramp it up and get ready for the playoffs. You want to be playing your best football going towards the playoffs. So when the playoffs starts, you are ready to move. But Dark Knight, I know we didn't do this yet. We got some inactives.
All right.
I want to go through this really quickly so I can finish with that statement. For the Washington Commanders, really no surprises there. Jalen Daniels, their star quarterback, running back Chase Edmonds, offensive tackle George Fant, offensive tackle who would have been All-Pro Laramie Tinsel, who they traded from and got from Houston Texans. Tight end Kosin Yakov, defensive tackle Eddie Goldman. For our
Yakov. Okay, Yakov. Okay, all right, pause. I'm about to say back. Pause. You didn't say pause.
Pause. Goodness gracious. On this. For our Philadelphia Eagles, Lane Johnson, Jalen Carter, tight end Cameron Latuyu, who's actually our fullback. He was injured during last week, was a stinger. He's inactive. Edge Josh Uche, running back AJ Dillon, cornerback Matt McWilliams, and third string emergency quarterback Sam Howell. That is your inactives for this game. But back to your statement, Dark Knight. Yes, you want to be playing your best football going to the playoffs, into the tournament. You want to be playing your best football. You want to be, just barely putting together games. You want to be, the offense need to be clicking on all cylinders. That defense need to be shutting teams out. The special teams need to be making all field goals and down punts within the 10-yard line. This is a staple of teams that are prepared and ready to win championships. I'll go back to the year the Giants played the New England Patriots, the undefeated New England Patriots, right? That last game of the season, even though the Patriots knew they was going to win that game, they almost lost that game. But you know who was playing well? That defense for the Giants. That offense for the Giants even was playing pretty doggone good. So you always want to be playing your top-notch football, your top brand of football when you're going to the playoffs, because you know what? That equates to better football in the tournament.
So, and I agree with that, right? And I know some may be thinking, well, you look at the totality of the season. Oh, there we are. We have Nichelle. Look at the totality of the season, and we're 9-5. But again, it doesn't matter the record as long as you are playing your best football at the right time. And this is the right time to put together some consistency on playing your best football. So once the playoff starts, everything is out the window. What happened in the regular season no longer exists. We're 0-0. So it's where everyone is at that point. So maybe we did trudge along through the regular season and the offense weren't looking great. But if we can put together 3-4 games of good offensive play and the playoffs start, it's going to be a scary thing. And that's all that matters. That's, keeping the main thing, play your best football as you head into the playoffs. Welcome, Nichelle. How's it going?
Good. Just catching up here. Got a little lemon drop shot with some Tito's. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Here you go.
Yeah, definitely hear you.
I'm like, y'all had nothing to say. You're like, oh, that's nothing different. No comment.
No.
Thanks.
No. Are you kidding me? You are, unofficially, you probably voted the most popular Eagle Talk host out here.
Yes,
And what's my proof? If I'm not here, nobody says, where's Dante? If Pat's not here, nobody's in the chat room, where's Pat? If Nichelle's not here, it's all up and down the chat room. Where's Nichelle?
Where's the contract at?
No, they be like, "Where's DarkKnight?" Well, they make up stories for where you're at least, Dante. They at least got creative stories of what happened to.
The bunny. The bunny.
But hey, look, I said this on site when I see John Batiste, but where's that damn bunny? Put that bunny up.
I will put it up. I will put it up real quickly.
All right, put that damn bunny up because that was good luck last week.
I'm mad at the peppermint mocha.
He got his quarter zip on.
That's why I'm ramped up right now. I'm caffeined up right now. I had a meeting early this morning, so I'm ready to go, man. All right, here we go. Dion, let me bring you guys in. Our followers. He said probably the most popular. I know.
I remember what you said, Dion. What did he say Thursday? He said he's going to pull me through the screen like Tron or something like that. Crazy.
All right. So first person in the room tonight was Mrs. Jones. Hey, fam.
Jones.
Let's cheer on our Eagles for a win. Second person in the room, Jeremiah. What are you doing? For real? Really? You had a string of first person in the room going for a lot of games, and here you are. You've fallen off.
You know what, DarkKnight?
We need to be playing our best football going into the playoffs. You need to be on top of your game going into the playoffs too, Jeremiah. You got to step it up.
DarkKnight, he was second. He was second last week during that win, so he doesn't need to be first no more.
Okay, all right.
Three-game lose streak, he was number one. So
fair enough,
Jeremiah, we love you, but
and there's Mr. Jones. And I love the Joneses, man. They are such big supporters. Here we are. Mrs. Jones is following on YouTube. Mr. Jones is on Facebook. Thank you guys for the love. And for those of you who are not following on YouTube, make sure you go to YouTube and follow Eagles Talk. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the little thumbs up, like, and get notified every time we go live. Drew is in the house. Goat Boy. Yo, what's up? John Batiste, it's on site when I see you. I got to go down to South Carolina, Kakalaka just to catch him, but I'm going to get you. I'm gonna get you for the pink bunny. Jack is in the house. He says game day, Eagles win. All right, so and our resident from down under, Tony Burren. It's Christmas holidays. My birds are playing at 8 a.m. on Sunday. Hell, I might even take a shot. It's 8 a.m. on Sunday? Wow.
Yep. It'll be 5 p.m. for us. He's
Wow, that's
8 a.m.
what's
at 8 a.m. in Australia for him.
It's Marcus freaking Mariota, Bird fan. We got this. All right.
Facts.
Yeah, let's
As much as I want to say that, his that team has been very good under Marcus Mariota. I mean, the record doesn't indicate how good they have been. They played the Giants last week and they put up 30-something points. But it's neither here nor there. Marcus Mariota is very similar to Jalen Daniels. He might not be as accurate as Jalen Daniels, but he's a threat to run. He's a threat outside the pocket, and he still can get the ball and deliver the ball to his receivers. I mean, he was here and we were saying we wanted him. Remember the Chip Kelly era?
Yeah.
We wanted Marcus Mariota because we thought he could run his offense perfectly. He's still a pro quarterback and he's still a pro team, and we have to take it to this team. Even though it's not Sunday, it's Saturday, any given Saturday, and hopefully it's not this Saturday because this Saturday we
All right, Drew Goatboy is in Germany and he says it's 10 p.m. there. Wow.
Get some
We're
beer.
international. We're international, gang.
We always have been.
All right, so what's some of the keys to this game today? I talked about it in the opening about the offense, building upon what happened last week at the very least, continuing what happened last week, right? We saw a lot of exciting, creative plays. Even the play calling flow was better than what we had seen in prior games. So we don't need to see any regression. We need to see, at the very least, it stay where it is, right? Hopefully, it improves even on that. But I'm hoping that we found our niche. We found a rhythm that we can build upon and continue to do that for these last 3 games.
Yeah, I truly hope so. Listen, line of scrimmages. When you win a line of scrimmage, you could do a lot. Last week we won a time of possession. We talked about that time of possession. If you couldn't win the time of possession to be dominant at that line of scrimmage, you take over the game, regardless of how many yards your quarterback is putting in the air, how many rush yards you have. If you're dominate that line of scrimmage in time of possession, you can go ahead and win the game very handily.
All right, so. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nichelle.
I was just going to say, I'm going with my Super Bowl winning coach, one of the most winningest coaches in Eagles history, and it's the battle of the turnovers. Protect the ball, you protect the W.
Correct.
That's what he told the team, protect the ball.
Put you guys' comments on the screen, although I have included you guys in the conversation a little earlier. These guys are so, sensitive, but they're family. I'll give it to them. They don't hesitate to let you know when you ignore them in that chat room. So they're talking to themselves again. Everybody's listening to us. Well, look, these are the things they say. Well, here you go. You're on the screen at all times.
Yelling at us.
Everybody can see your comments and what you're saying. Shell is on. Thanks, Shell, for coming on and waking us all up by screaming at us as usual. Family. I read it just like I suspect he wrote it. Family, we need to run the ball. 40 and a 60-40 run the pass. The defense needs to just be consistent like it's been over the last 2 weeks and dominate. All right, Shell, stop yelling at us. All right.
Please, Shell, stop yelling. Please, Shell.
But he has a point there. We do need to continue what we did, run the pass. I like that ratio, 60-40. I think that was about what we did last week, if I'm not mistaken. There was more run than pass.
Yeah, we had more. We averaged more rush yards. We had over close to 200 yards rushing. I think we had over 200 yards rushing. Quarterback had 175 yards passing, but it was efficient. Like the run game was when we hit those runs was at the proper time. We dominated the line of scrimmage. The pass game was efficient. We need to stay there.
Period.
Yeah, I agree with that. And don't get me wrong, there weren't like, it wasn't like the run game of last year where the yards per carry was was great. But what was encouraging about it was the fact that they stuck with it, because I felt that they haven't committed to the run like in the past. And last week they kind of committed to it. Even when you're not picking up those big chunks of yards, just running the ball opens up a lot for this offense. And I thought that last week they did that, and I think that was a key to the offense performing well again. Also with the fact that they had Jalen under center a lot too. So I'm looking to see some more of that and some more creative play designs and the such, man. And I think if that happens, we'll be successful today. But more importantly, it'll help us to build upon consistency and carving out an identity as we approach the playoffs, because we haven't had a solid identity on offense all year.
Yeah, we haven't. We haven't had a flow. And last week we had a flow for the first time. We were unpredictable in the things that we were throwing out there. Shoot, I went back and watched some more of a game film after our Thursday show, and there was some plays that I totally missed that when we saw it. I'm like, it was stuff that was built up for a certain looks. Like the like you said, they was under center 30 times in that game, and 30 times they were unpredictable. In 6 of those times, you thought they were running the same particular run play or same play action play. It was totally a different play, which was a good thing. Crossing routes, play action, under center, even in a shotgun. It looked like they started to get a flow of the game and how they wanted to be dominant. In that offensive line, I mean, Tyler Steen, I'm not going to talk about him. But the offensive line had his good marks last week. This week, they have to be better.
No, they definitely did. Offensive line definitely has to step up. And to your point, Pat, being under center and the different looks, like I said, we haven't done that since week 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we thought we was like, okay, the offense going to have an identity. And they went away from all of those things. They went away from the run. They went away from switching up the play design and showing different looks under center versus always staying in shotgun. And now we're back here when they should have been getting reps doing this early on instead of, panicking for a stretch of 5-6 games where we had to drop 3 before they got their act together.
Absolutely.
All right, somebody speak to what Drew is saying. He also thinks that the plays came in faster last time, which gives Jalen more time to see the defense. What do you think?
Well, to that point, we're still at we still snap the ball like 3-2.
We're still
3.
Yeah,
we're still out of getting with our play call. Like I would love for the play call to come in and Jalen has about 10 seconds before it gets close, but more or less when they get to the line of scrimmage is at 7.
Mm-hmm.
By the time he get into his cadence, it's at 3. And it's a quick call. So yes, I would love for this to be more efficient in that aspect of being the play caller. But yeah, last week it was much improved. But we still need to be better in this aspect of getting the play into the quarterback and getting to the line of scrimmage, so we have more time to identify what the defense is trying to throw at you.
Yeah, and better production on third down, because right now we're in the bottom 6 of the league in terms of, we're always 3rd and long, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6. So better production on those third down plays where we're setting up ourselves for short yardage gains.
Shoot, listen, even when we was in those situations, the 37, 36, I always think that we have the athletes to beat their athletes to get it.
Oh, we have scared.
We have the capability to get those yards, like to this particular offense when it's hitting on all cylinders. 3rd and 10 ain't nothing. Truthfully, 3rd and 10 ain't nothing.
And this is the shit I'm talking about.
I said that. I put it up there earlier just to show you. Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm talking about. The fan, we'll let you know. Yes, that's why I put you up on the screen, just in case. I'm going to try hard not to forget about you guys. I really am. But in the event that we get into a deep conversation or get into a flow of talking, your comments are always going to be on there. So you're not going to ever be ignored from this point on. Drew says DarkKnight can't abandon the run early. No, we can't. And we have been doing that. And I think that to the detriment of the offense, It's like, okay, we don't get 5, 6, 7 yards a pop, and they think that it's a failure. It's not a failure if you only get 2, 3 yards. It's the ebb and flow of running. You have to get into a rhythm of running, and you can't abandon it just because you're not getting large chunks at a time. It still has to be an option, at least in the defense's mind, so you can do other things. So they did a good job of that last week, not abandoning the run, even with the short yard gains. They still stuck to the run, and I think that was a big key to why the offense was successful last week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You stick to the run regardless. If you're only get 3 yards a pop, you still give that illusion when they play action. Because if you're not running the ball, that play action defeats the purpose of running a play action. If you're not running the ball, it defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
If I'm playing safety, if I'm playing linebacker, if I'm playing corner, I'm not worried about you running the ball. I know my defensive front is stopping you, and you're not running the ball no longer. If you're no longer running the ball, I'm going into my drop every single down.
Yep, exactly. All right, so we're going to end this quarter here. A lot to talk about. Oh, okay. I'm tripping. Hold on.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right. You're watching the Eagles
I got
talk.
you, Dark Go ahead. I got you.
All right. You're watching Eagles talk. Dag, I've already got a handover. I'm getting old, huh? I got to hand over the soundboard duties. All right. You're watching the Eagles talk, the most unique Eagles coverage show around is by us Eagles fans and for us Eagles fans. And we here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles. We do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm doing the Celsius. I'm already jacked. I probably don't need any more caffeine, but Pat's doing the Basil Hayden and Nichelle's doing the lemon drop. Let me know what you guys are doing in the chat room, and let's do it. To our Philadelphia Eagles, down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
Dark Knight, I told you, I got you. I got you.
My bad. Look, I done forgot that quick. I'm like, what happened?
Put that Celsius down.
All right. So going to some comments here. Richard Lane says, what's up? He's just joined us. You're late.
Boo.
All right. Sulema says, we better beat the 4-10 Commanders. We can do each other a favor here.
Mm-hmm.
We can do each other a favor. They really don't want to win. What are you guys doing? You don't want to win. You're in position to get a top draft pick here. You should not be trying to win games. And we can help you guys out. All right? You can help us out by not trying to win the game. You know what I'm saying? And allow us to win our second consecutive NFC East title and secure our spot in the playoffs. So we can do each other a favor here, but I know this is a division rival, and they're probably going to come out and try to win because we are the Eagles, and they hate us. We hate them. So, it may be a contest. That's all I'm saying. It may be a contest.
For the first
and I know that the powers to be set this up because we got to play them in 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they put this schedule together, they were basing it off of last year where we met them in the NFC Championship game, and no one imagined that the Washington Commanders would fall off the cliff of the earth this year. And so this would have been a much more compelling matchup had they built upon what happened last year, and we were battling for the division title. But as it stands now, we're way ahead. All we need is this win today. But it's still a matchup worth watching.
It is, but I mean, I did kind of predict that, the Commanders will have not a good second season because that's what they do. They have a great first season when they get a new rookie. The same thing happened when they have RG3. Then the next season under Kirk Cousins, because RG3 got injured, they kind of fell from that pedestal. The same things happened again, like RG3 Part 2. The good thing is that they did shut their rookie quarterback down to get him back healthy, to make sure he doesn't get further injured, and they can utilize him for their franchise. So that's one thing I'm happy they did. But again, this Washington Commanders team, their law averages last year, winning in the fourth quarter, off of Hail Marys, off of last minute plays, off of lucky situations, that has a time limit. It's not going to happen every season. You're not going to be the Wonder Kids every season. You have to put together a good football game and be consistent. They weren't consistent last year. They won games, just by, I hate to say it, by luck last year. Look at that Bears game, that Hail Mary. Like, be honest with you. You don't win a game like winning a game off a Hail Mary. You have a better chance of going outside and getting hit by a bunny. I just hate to say bunny, but it doesn't happen that often. And when it does happen, you can't rely on it as an offensive standpoint to win the game.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I get it. Here we go. Brad says, is the Patullo interview with the Giants a genuine interview, or is it a smokescreen interview just to get some information?
Never a smokescreen. Never a smokescreen. It's always an interview, because what information you going to get out of that interview? They're interviewing you because they want to potentially hire you as their head coach. They're not going to give you a playbook. They're not going to give you this. They're going to give you what they're going to do in the draft. They want to see what you have, what you're going to bring to the organization. That's what I do. If I interview for a position, I'm interviewing what do you have? What can you bring to the table? It's not what I'm going to show to you. I'm not going to show you anything.
We broke both the Commanders and the Chiefs last postseason. Yeah, we kind of did break them. They've not recovered since they played us last year. Both of those organizations did not have the year that they imagined, nor the experts imagined. Everybody imagined that the Chiefs were going to continue to roll on and bounce back from that ass whipping that we put up on them. People thought that the Commanders were on the ascension and they were going to be better and compete with us, and they have not. So I see some truth in that, Tony. You might be right about that. We broke those, but we've been a little bit broken ourselves. I mean, 5. When we look at our preseason predictions, not one of us had us losing 5 games. Wow. This is double what you guys said. This is more than what I said. So, I don't think we're broken, though. I think we and we might have not had the season that we expected, but we're still in a much better position than both of those teams who are not going to be playing in the second season this year. So I like our position a lot better than
Well, let's clarify. We didn't have the regular season we expected. My expectations for postseason are totally different than regular season.
Yeah, keeping the main thing, the main thing. Right. It's all about making the postseason and even having a chance. And that's what it's about. Because you can't. I'm sorry.
No, you gotta go back to what Jalen Phillips said. He said Jalen Phillips he's like very excited to be a part of a culture that looks forward to winning the division championship. It's not. He didn't know it was this difficult, especially in NFC East. He didn't know how tough the NFC East is, and he's very happy to be a part of a team that has the opportunity to win a NFC East championship and vow for a Super Bowl in the playoffs. This culture of this locker room of these players being happy that they're making sure they're putting the main thing, keeping the main thing is what you need moving forward. Just like in the first quarter, we talked about keeping the main thing about getting ready at the end of the season for the playoffs. These guys are ready, and today I need them to show it.
Facts.
Well, I know the defense is ready. I feel a lot better seeing the offense perform as they did last week, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that they have arrived until I've seen it more than one game, in a row. So this is still a big game in my eyes. I need to see the offense continue what happened last week. I need to see that, and then next week, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but next week is going to be even more crucial or a bigger test. Let's put it that way. next week's game, I believe, will be a truer test of how we may perform in the playoffs against a playoff caliber team. So that's great. But for the time being, we have to handle the business that we need to handle. And just like we beat down the Raiders, as we should have, we should probably be winning against the Commanders. So let's do what's expected of us. Being the team that we think that we are, let's do what a team that's like us should do to a team that's like the Commanders. Let's do
Absolutely agree with that. Let's these lower teams, these lesser teams, these teams that are not valuing for anything, they're trying to play spoilers. And this is the opportunity to make sure that they don't spoil our season. Because right now, all we have to do is one game at a time. And today actually is really one game at a time, right?
that.
We focus on this one game in front of us, come out there and do what we need to do. It's a business trip. When the business is done, you take the starters off the field, you put the backups on so they can stay healthy. Because I was looking at that field don't look too great, but it's still a game to be played. And after we take care of business, we need to focus on. We do need to focus on the Bills. I don't hold you up after this game, but right now the Commanders is in front of us, and we need to focus on making sure that we connect, that we don't do any mental mistakes, and that we're efficient on both sides of the ball and special teams. I need Jake Elliott to be the All Pro he was at one time, well, Pro Bowler, or whatever he was.
No, for sure. And one thing is going to be key that we mentioned earlier is winning in the trenches
Mhm.
with this group. Not just winning in the trenches. Um and besides the turnover battle, we have to be more disciplined on these penalties.
Yes,
I'm still not letting up on the penalties. We have to break those bad habits going into this playoff run, because those are the things that can make and break you and cost you a game. So I'm still in the frame of mind that getting more reps with the first team throughout the rest of the season, as you start to finesse and tighten up this offense, is going to be key. They're going to need as many reps as possible for them to get into the sync we need to do. They're trending in the right way, but I don't think we should let our foot up off the gas
correct,
in terms of this offensive production.
correct, 100%.
Yeah, I think you made a key point about those penalties, because that was another key to the offense and team as a whole looking great last week, was the reduction of mistakes and
Mhm.
mental mistakes. So
Mhm.
we need to see that continue as well. That was a big part of what has been ailing this offense as well. The penalties have been killing us. And last week, with just 3 penalties, you see how efficient and how much better this team can perform when they don't make those mental mistakes, when they are locked in, when they are focused. This is the team we can be. So let's see if we can continue that and come out, because that's really a big indication whether they are locked in and focused and switching from this regular season mode to playoff mode, because we should be in playoff mode now, because the games count now. They mean something even today. I mean, if we win today, we lock up the NFC East, of course, but there's still a slight chance that we may be able to win the number 2 seed. And if there is a chance, let's go for that chance. I would love the opportunity to play the first and second round games at home. You know what I mean? And we kind of can make that happen if we take care of our business. So I'm with you,
Absolutely.
Nichelle. Don't take your foot off the gas. Let's continue to press down on the gas and get ready to speed into the playoffs. Let's not be creeping along into the playoffs and try to build up momentum. This is the time where you build up your momentum going into the playoffs. What's that one that says, man, I
Yes.
just want y'all to know that the show looks good when the gang is all together. Oh, thank you, James.
Yes.
Thank you, James.
I appreciate it, James. But Dark Knight, you're 100% right. Like this is a playoff game for us. The next 3 weeks literally is playoff games for us. I would love to be the number 2 seed. Right now, we don't have a horse in the race for the first seed. We need something. I'm not saying a horse in the race. We do have a horse. It's a small chance that we did get the first seed, but the second seed sounds great. The Packers and the Bears play this weekend, so there's a chance that if the Packers win, the Bears drop again. The next week, we get another opportunity to get to that number 2 seed. But that's not what we're focusing about right now. We're focusing on the Commanders game today, and making sure we don't turn this into what the proverbial analyst would say I'm not going to say it out loud. That type of game, right? We don't make it that type of game and keep these guys in this game. Kick their butt early and often and put your foot on their freaking neck and keep your foot there, right? Don't give them a chance to get up, because if you give them a chance to get up, you're going to be lackadaisical. You're going to be tired. You're going to be fooled. You ate all that turkey. Now it's like, oh, no, here they come. No, we don't need that. We did that against the Broncos already. We had our foot on their necks. We let the Broncos back in it. We did it against the Dallas Cowturds. We had our foot on a freaking neck, and we let them back into the game. We can't do that moving forward.
Hey, something just came to mind with James's comment up there. Maybe we're an indication of how the team is going. We've just gotten into our flow. Nichelle just came back.
Don't be.
And maybe this is what the team is reflecting us. We're getting in playoff mode ourselves. We have the whole game together. Our whole team is healthy. As we move into the playoffs, maybe the team will follow suit. That was an interesting comment. Thanks, James. That maybe our show is
an indication. Yeah, because the other shows are catching heat on the radio is not the TV shows, but
as they should.
They catching heat from our player commentators. Shout out to Seth and Hugh in the Eagles Hall of Fame. So congrats to him. But yeah, they're taking heat. Some of their co-workers' toxic takes don't sit well with the fan base, so they're taking the brunt of some of that too.
So hold on, he's going in
to Eagles Hall of Fame. Eagles Hall of Fame. Yep.
Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yeah. So make sure everybody send a congratulations to Mr. Hugh Douglas.
Oh, that's what's up. Brad says off-season talk. As long as y'all been Eagles fans, do y'all see Lori and Howie breaking that Cardinal rule of we pay a second linebacker into Kobe? Ooh, interesting question.
Yes.
Man. You think they pay him?
Yes. He gets his money because you still control Jahai Campbell for the next after the season 4 years. So,
period.
Yes. All right. So that's not even the question. But I got to end this quarter because we up on it. Let me end this quarter for us.
All right, go ahead.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're watching Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show around. That's by us Eagles fans, for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is the Philadelphia Eagles, and we do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. Never forget, if you're an adult, you're drinking a beverage, you have an adult beverage. So I'm drinking a Celsius energy drink. Pat is doing the Basil Hayden, and Nichelle is doing the lemon drop. Let me know what you're doing out there, and let's go. Let's get ready for our Philadelphia Eagles. Let's take it down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook.
Let's go.
That is by Eagles fans, for Eagles fans.
listening to the third quarter.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
All right, getting back to that paying the second linebacker, Pat. That's
Yes, sir.
Nakobe, right?
That is Nakobe. You already paid
We
the tag.
have Jordan Davis. So, I mean, it's easy to say, yeah, you give Nakobe Dean the money. What do you do with Jordan Davis? See, there's more people that need to be paid. So,
We have
easy.
Howie
I'm
Roseman.
very emotional about Nakobe myself, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, how do we pay everybody? So you're saying we pay Nakobe, we don't pay Jordan?
We
can't
have
pay
Howie
everybody.
Roseman. And we have players that are very unselfish. Let's be honest. We have players that are very unselfish to a fault where they rather not take the max amount of money
And be on a championship
and
team.
be on a championship team than take the max amount of money and be on the Raiders. Like, let's be honest. We have those type players because Jalen Hurts could clean us out. As a quarterback, Jalen Hurts could have cleaned us out where so
He
we
did not.
don't have any
He's
money
still
to
not the top
restructure or
eight.
do anything. Lane Johnson is the proverbial masterclass of what it is to be a champion. Every year he restructures his contract for the betterment of the team. When you have that in the locker room, when you have that mindset in the locker room, listen, I'm gonna get my money, but at the same time, I'd rather win games and championships. That trickles down to these players to understand that, you know what, it's more out there than just money. Because yes, I can go ahead and get that $40 million a year contract and be happy with my money, but I'm not winning no games. What's my legacy going to be? What is your legacy going to be? Are you going to be the best Eagles team ever that have won back-to-back championships? Or he's going to be, yeah, he played for the Eagles. He was all right.
All right, here's the pushback. Milt Williams went and got his damn money. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. And then, Lane Johnson, let me finish. Lane Johnson has been here forever. He has money. He can do that now. He's been paid over 10 years of his salary. He can say, all right, restructure me. Milt Williams was younger. He went and got his money. Nakobe Dean is younger. He might want his money. Jordan Davis is younger. They might want their money. I'm just saying.
So
They may want their money. And they have a championship already.
I love that
their
example,
legacy?
DarkKnight.
They
I
have
love that
championship.
example. I
Go
love
ahead.
that example because Milton Williams, he got his contract 2 days prior to the free agency. And Howie Roseman, all intents and purposes, said I would have resigned him if that conversation or that call that would have came through, but it didn't go through. Same thing with Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat, the contract he got with Arizona, he got way more money than he should have got. But at the end of the day, you know what? We're better off without these guys because now you're projecting newer guys in those positions. Moro Ojomo is one of the highest rated defensive tackles in the league, pressure-wise, right? Now, Nolan Smith is coming on as one of the better defensive ends. Jalen Hurts is one of the better defensive ends in pressure. You know, Jalen Phillips, this gives you the opportunity to go get these game changers. Jalen Phillips wasn't something we were talking about. If Josh Sweat was here, we're not getting Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips is going to be a monster for this team, and he's going to get re-signed. And I trust Howie Roseman because I know last year he could have re-signed everybody, and everybody would have been happy with what they had, except his name was Hassan Reddick, unfortunately. Right? Everybody would have been happy because we kept the core and the team together. This offseason, I know we're not even close to the offseason. There are going to be some changes. Brandon Graham is not going to be here. I love Brandon Graham, but last season was his last year. This year, defensive tackle Brandon Graham is not going to be here. There may be some opportunity we go against Myles Garrett and these players.
Whoa. Pump the brakes. I'm paying Brandon Graham out of my pocket. That's how much money he's not making. I'm paying him with my loose change. He ain't making no damn money. What are you talking about?
He's not. He's
$5 a damn game.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna be missed.
If we're having a money
we're gonna take his $5 a game and give it to God.
Trust Howie. I trust Howie now.
That's why I don't even understand why we even talking about it.
I trust Howie Roseman.
I trust Howie too. But I'm on the real.
For once, we don't need to talk. Howie finally know how to do his job without us yelling at him.
Yes, he does. And some of that job does involve making a tough decision on and having the realistic view that he's
That's
not going
right.
to be able to retain everyone.
That's right.
So I want N'Kobe back too because
He's a
he's
monster. He's a monster.
and
Kobe, Nolan, Jalen Hunt. I mean, our defense is just chock stacked. We're not going to be able to keep them all just like last year. That's just
yeah.
but let's be real. Our defense is deep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. N'Kobe Dean makes his defense roll.
Mm-hmm.
This,
Somebody had a comment earlier comparing him to Devin White. Remember we had
oh,
Devin White
that Devin White has 140 sacks, but you know what? I mean tackles.
tackles.
But
Yeah,
Devin White doesn't have the impact. You could have 1,000 tackles. What's your impact on the team? He plays for the Raiders. Devin White plays for the Raiders. The Raiders are 2-win forever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
N'Kobe Dean plays for a defense that when he's out there, the defense is smarter. They're in the right position. They're in the right call. He is the quarterback of that defense. He lets Zach Bond play freely. When you have that guy in the middle of the field, you it gives confidence. It breeds confidence to the other linebackers and the other players. Listen, Jahad Campbell, he's going to be. I know he's going to be an outstanding linebacker going down the line. You know
Period.
what? And he's going to cut his teeth right now, being a rookie and playing on the outside, playing in spot duty, stuff like that. And yes, he was close to being defensive rookie of the year. But N'Kobe Dean is a key. It's a linchpin for what makes this defense go.
Well, N'Kobe Dean, in my opinion, is much more than the stats you see on the paper.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
He's much more, and that's what brings his, bring his value up to this team. It's much more than just the tackling and all. N'Kobe Dean brings those intangibles, the energy, the leadership, those things you can't quantify on paper is what N'Kobe does. This, Jihad, as you said, was performing at a Rookie of the Year pace prior to N'Kobe getting there. If you wanted to compare numbers, they probably were very, very similar to what N'Kobe's doing now. But he is not N'Kobe as far as leadership and energy. This
right.
defense has really elevated since N'Kobe has been reinserted into the lineup. And that's the value of N'Kobe Dean. So it's more than the numbers on the paper. We have a guy that can put the same numbers on the paper. We got Jihad. Jihad is in his rookie season is doing some of those things, but N'Kobe is the heartbeat of this defense, man. And you saw the switch kind of click when he was inserted back into that lineup. So yeah, I would love to keep him.
Well, talking about the heartbeat and to James's point here, you got to keep the dogs together. One thing we got to realize as we talk about trade and who's going to be here and how we can shore up this position, you got to maintain some level of chemistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We already see what that does to the offense when we're in and out of OCs every year. You got to keep your core the main thing, because when you start losing that chemistry, whether it's the vibe in the locker room, the leadership in the locker room, BG probably came back more for his couple of sacks than for his leadership.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
Keeping that vibe and keeping that unit together when all the media pundits and the sports media pundits are calling for their jobs, calling for them to be benched, and there's locker room disjointment when they're diving down the petty train of all the emotional stuff that has nothing to do with playing ball or who got mad at what, or this one's all the stuff with AJ, he's not getting a shine and he's like all of that.
Listen,
That's all that. That's all that emotional talk. That's not talking ball. We know those things happen. We know those personality things happen. But I would say Nick Sirianni has a higher emotional IQ than 90% of the media people that are writing about him.
Yes.
When it comes to interpersonal dynamics of people, and if some of those same journalists, I'm using this very loosely, because I'm gonna tell you, I was a media major and I have a media company, so get at me, y'all. Some of those same folks lack that emotional intelligence, understanding group dynamics and what it takes to actually lead a team, and not just lead a team, but lead a team of young men and young adults and a whole organization, and dealing with different personalities, clashes and how you don't let that get awry and you still keep what Jalen likes to call the main thing. They don't keep any of that in the play. They just want to know, oh, this is bad. Oh, this one's not talking to this one in the locker room. I'm like, is this Mean Girls? Like you sound, I'm not even going to say you sound like a bunch of chicks, because women my age, we don't gossip like that. Real talk. It's always the guys. It's always the guys that are.
It is.
Why is it always the guys gossiping?
I have no
What
clue.
is that?
But let me end this quarter because we got 2 minutes before the game starts. We got to do our predictions. Shout out to Ty from Eagles 1. I know I'm taking DarkKnight's position right now.
No.
But Ty finally found a group. Yes, Eagles talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. And Ty, if you out there right now, you know what we do. We like to drink. So I'm going to end this quarter and get our last shot.
And that's the end of the quarter.
All right, so you're listening to Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles coverage show on Facebook. That's by us Eagles fans and for us Eagles fans. And here on Eagles Talk, we like to talk about our favorite football team. That is, let me remind everyone, the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Period.
And we like to do so in such a relaxed manner that we enjoy our favorite adult beverage in the form of shots. I'm doing the Celsius Energy Drink. Pat's doing the Basil Hayden. And Nichelle's doing the lemon drop. Let me know what you're doing out there. So, everybody, raise your glasses as we prepare for kickoff to our Philadelphia Eagles down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the fourth quarter.
And before I go further, let me just commend Nichelle on that commentary she just gave about emotional intelligence, because that is what sets Nick Sirianni apart. It's something that Lurie brought up when he let Chip Kelly go. And Nick has, filled that role of a coach with emotional intelligence and what that entails and how that plays into leadership in any organization. And Nick has done an excellent job at that. So thank you, Nichelle, for breaking it down. Everybody out there, go get the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Great book. But everybody, we're getting ready for this Eagles game here.
Yes.
Let's do predictions.
Nichelle?
I'm gonna say we put up another 30 burger today.
Ooh.
I don't really care what the Redskins do. We're definitely going to win, but I definitely think we put up another 30 points today.
I agree with you. I think as long as we said this all year, I'm not talking about line of scrimmage, but now I am. As long as we dominate the line of scrimmage, we're able to win this game easily. It should not be a hard game whatsoever. And shout out to all of our guys. Saquon and Barkley get over 1,000 yards. Both Devontae and AJ Brown can get over 1,000 yards today or next week. And I think we definitely win this game with more points than them.
All right. I just think we have more points than them. I think the defense continues to be dominant, and I think the offense will build upon what happened. It depends on being, using the playbook that we used last week, basically. Mm-hmm. And we, with more points than them, I like Ty's prediction right there. But everybody, go watch this game. Go watch our Eagles dominate. And then let's come back and talk about it afterwards. Let's come back and celebrate together after the game. I'm your man, DarkKnight, for Pat and Nichelle. We'll see you guys after the game. Enjoy. We're out. Peace.
Peace.